Hello everyone. Tonight we are just gonna do some LALA live because we are so close to level 30 that it's just like you gotta do it. We gotta. Like I actually need to make progress on so many things with my main character, but Boba here is just, I mean, she, looking at her experience bar up there, she's quite a bit. Here, I'm actually going to fix my head here for the vertical to show it a little bit better here. Like, she is quite a bit of the way through level 29. Like, she is just getting so close to level 30. Like, there's just no way we can just sit by and not get her all the way to 30 and get her that job promotion, you know? Like, it has to happen. We gotta upgrade her because she is absolutely the best. Some things earlier today, I did go ahead and fully unlock the gold saucer and was very quick to go ahead and get her bunny ears. And with getting her bunny ears, I did not have the advantage of being able to do the fashion report. So anybody who hasn't been to the gold saucer, if you do your fashion report every week, hey Euler, good to see you. With the fashion report, if you do it every week and get 80 points, then you easily get 60,000 MGP, which would have more than easily gotten me these bunny ears, because these bunny ears are only 20,000 MGP. But I went ahead and did some mini games and some gates and got these for myself earlier today. I also got her hair done so that way she would match my character. And on top of that, I made some updates to my V2 model so that way during LALA lives, I look a little bit more like Boba, and Boba looks a little bit more like me. Yes, she is now a proper mini-me. Now, when I'm on my main character, I will go back to my regular model and not have the elven-looking ears and the enlarged head or the giant-sized glasses. But I couldn't resist. I was like, no, we have to try to make as close to Boba as I possibly could. Yes, it's like the gold saucer, it's so easy to get a whole bunch of MGP, and it's just, it could get addicting sometimes. Like, I mean, I'm fortunate, like, I've seen some people, they get so addicted to like the chocobo races. I actually have never done the chocobo races myself, but I have seen plenty of people get super addicted to those. Some people get really addicted to triple triad, which I haven't done the triple triad so much either. I need to do more of it because I definitely want that mount. Like, I feel like that would be absolutely fantastic and amazing to get, but I haven't done that just because most of the time I'm just like, either I either want to fight things or I just really want to no-brain it. And so, like, if I'm one of the, like, either one of those moves, which is pretty much all the time, then I can't triple triad. But I can handle some things, like Air Force One. Like, that gate I can handle. I like that gate. I don't like slices, right? That was just not what I care for. Yojimbo doesn't like me. Yojimbo cheated earlier today a few times. To catch up from where we were on MSQ, we were traveling around to each of the grand companies, the 3 main cities, to hear the leaders speak in remembrance of those who fell 5 years ago in the fall of Dalamud. And we are listening to these speeches because each of the grand companies are trying to basically recruit us. They want us on as to pledge allegiance to them specifically. Yes, Air Force One is such a good one. Like, I love Air Force One, and I thought it was just going to keep giving me Air Force One because they came out with that new map, and it kept giving me the new map. So I was like, oh, maybe they'll just keep giving me the new Air Force One map, and I'll just be spoiled and spam this over and over and over again. And then it was like, no, we're going to give you slices right 2 times in a row. And I'm like, game, why do you hate me right now? And yeah, with those 2 slices rights, Yojimbo 100% cheated. Like, there was one of them that it was like one of the like, he was up to 4 bamboos, and one of the bamboos from clear across the room apparently hit me square in the face. I'm like, that just wasn't fair. That was just not cool. Like, there was no safe area that I could have possibly gotten to in time. I was like, yo, Jimbo, that's cheating. Like, he made it so it was impossible for anybody to win, because apparently at the same time I got knocked out, the other 2 people that were still surviving at the same time were knocked out too. And it was like, if we had just survived that one, I think we would have won. But nah, he cheated. It made it impossible for anybody to win. Like, you cheat. You cheat, Yojimbo. You cheat. But we're listening to the Remembrance Services so we can decide what grand company we want to be a part of. And we listened to Gridania's, basically, the Elder Seedseer said, you know, we don't love war. We don't want to fight. We only fight because we have to. And we're going to have to, you guys. Like, that's about what her speech boiled down to. Like, we have no choice in the matter. We got to defend our homeland. The Garleans are coming after us again. So, you know, we must fight. And we must show them that we are not to be trifled with. And now I am here in Ul'dah, and we are going to hear what the Immortal Flames have to say, what the Immortal Flames Grand Company has to say in their remembrance speech. Let's go, Raoban. I want to hear this. I want to hear your glorious voice, Raoban. Oh, and we have Nanamo.
黄金の砂嵐が吹くウルダハに集いし、熱き魂を持つ者どもよ。
I love his Japanese voice actor's voice. Hark you, soul of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore. I love how Nanamo is just like standing there all cocky, like, yeah, what he said. Like, Nanamo, she's just so adorable.
このウルダハはその昔ウル朝により建国され交易都市として発展してきた。
Yes, love Nanamo, love her so much. Here since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ui dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold. Yes, his voice is absolutely fantastic. 10 out of 10. Like, they did a fantastic job with this casting.
そして地底と商売の神ナルザルの加護のもと砂の都黄金郷ウルダハとして繁栄してきた。
Like, his voice, like, definitely, it fits him so well. Where by the grace and glory of Naothal have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of Ul'dah. I know I do his voice absolutely no justice.
ウルダハの国旗を見てごらん。
My model's getting a little laggy there.
あの絵柄は黒地に金の天秤という意匠さ。天秤の左側には富を表す宝石、右側には力を表す炎が置かれている。
Alfredo, give me a second. Didn't mean to progress your dialogue there. Okay. There, at the Flame Journal's back, flies the Grand Company standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity and with the flame of might.
これまでウルダ派の繁栄は巨万の富を生み出した。
I also really like in general, I really like with A Realm Reborn, I like the voice acting casting very I like it so much more than the English voice casting. And that's not to say that the voice casting for A Realm Reborn in English was necessarily bad, because I've heard a lot of those English voice actors in other things. Like several of them were voice actors in other Final Fantasy games, and they did fantastic in those. Like Urianger was Balthier, and he did a fantastic job as Balthier. But I feel like it must have been a direction or something, because I'm like, he just sounds so flat and unconnected to Urianger, and just absolutely nothing there. But you hear with the Japanese characters, they are so connected into the lines that they are delivering. So it's so interesting to get this to just the voice acting difference between the two. It's yeah, the Japanese ones for Realm Reborn, chef's kiss. Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the realm.
5年前のカルテノーの戦いにおいても皆が財と才を投じ、エオルゼア同盟3として最も多くの戦力を提供した。
I probably should warm. It's storming pretty good here. So if I suddenly disconnect, probably someone probably crashed and knocked out my power or something. So or crashed and knocked out my internet or something like that. Those things are totally not uncommon here when it storms. So it's like I just want to forewarn, just in case I happen to disconnect midstream. If I do, that's probably what happened. And it was this darkest hour on the killing fields of Cartano. None spent more in blood than on. Dang it, I was doing so good. None spent more in blood and gold than we.
その結果として帝国軍第7軍隊を打ち破ったのだ。
Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
打ち破っただって。一体誰のおかげで今があると思っているんだ。
VTuber model, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Did you decide to forget your settings, maybe? Just let me see if I fix it.
だが、
nope.
多くの兵が帰ってこなかった。
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets, is what Alphino had said. And Raubon says, yet many left our gates, never to return.
彼らの魂がナルザル神の恩元にたどり着き、来世で幸運をつかむことを祈ろう。
Let's pray for our absent brothers and sisters that they might know happiness in the great beyond as Thal's honored guests.
かの戦いは結果的に勝利と呼べるものではなかったかもしれぬ。
If the fates were fair, the price we paid that day would have brought us victory. Alas, they are not.
しかし、第7零祭後のこの困難の時代、皆が己のことだけを考えるようになっていった。
Give me just a second. Trying to figure out exactly.
ウルダ派の現状を見よ。難民が押し寄せ、貧者がそこら中にいる。
And now, but 5 years into the 7th umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice, which granted us our strength, is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden, and enthralled.
それなのに不者たちは財を投じて助けようとはしない。武を誇った者たちも動こうとはしない。
Where are the merciful arms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous?
今のこのウルダ派の状況をカルテローで戦った友たちに誇れるのか。
I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save?
ウルダ派を不滅体を信じて散っていった者たちに、お前たちのおかげで平和になったと胸を張って誇れるのか。
You who call this living dishonor the name of the immortal flames. It is but a slow death.
この地に迫る蛮族アマルジャ族の脅威は相変わらず強く、ウルダ派の生命線である交易路を脅かしている。さらにガレマール帝国に至っては一部地域を占領し、精輪水などの資源を奪っている。
Try something here. Our enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the Amalja wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land, its natural wealth. Hey, Neris.
ウルダ派の国難は続いているのだ。
We stand on a precipice, yet we do not act.
商人による自治を望む共和派も、王家に忠誠を誓う王党派も、共にウルダ派の繁栄を望んでいるはずであろう。
Whether traitor or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided old Da stands to fall.
この国難こそ正気であり、同時に正気である。
Victory and fortune walk hand in hand.
富を求めるすべてのものよ。武を誇るすべてのものよ。黄金鏡ウルダ派に憧れし旅人や義士、そして冒険者よ。
Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond.
目先の富だけを追うのではなく、国を、世界を見据えよ。
Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth.
今一度、七母女王陛下のもとに結集するのだ。
In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you.
ウルダ派を守るグランドカンパニー、不滅体を信じ、私腹を肥やすのではなく、不滅体に投資しろ。
By not your own coffers, but those of the immortal flames. Seek not to prosper from Ul'dah, but to restore her to her prosperity. He does know how to hype. Like, he started off this whole speech. I was like, he's delusional. Like, he is just trying to make it sound like they are strong, they kick ass, and they're absolutely amazing. And I'm like, dude, I saw what happened to Cartano. I saw it in a vision. You guys got your asses whooped, and he's turning it around, and it's just like, guys, if you're calling this living, you suck. And then it's just like really hyping him up, and I mean, obviously doing a better job of hyping them up than I'm describing, but he is definitely doing a fantastic job of being like, we are better than what we are doing right now. We are from Da. We need to restore it.
エオルゼアの駅はウルダ派の国益である。 そして国益は国民の益である。
As the realm prospers, so shall Ul'dah. As Ul'dah prospers, so shall her people.
うおー、任せろ。
七モ様。
Your Grace.
苦しゅうない。
Raoban.
ウルダ派第17代国王ナナモールナモである。
People of Ul'dah, I, Nanamo, 17th in the line of you of Ul, address you.
わらわから言うことは一つだけじゃ。
Much has been made in the wealth of Ul'dah.
ウルダ派の宝は金銀でも宝石でもあらぬ。そなたたち民じゃ。
Yet those who measure that wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived.
民の知恵、民の勇気、民の笑顔、何より民の命こそウルダ派の誇る最大の宝なのじゃ。
For the future wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people.
ウルダ派の民よ、わらわと共にエオルズや全土をウルダ派のごとく繁栄に導くのじゃ。
Beloved subjects, I bid you raise aloft the torch of Ul'dah, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
七モ様、万歳。女王陛下。
勝敗は速さと速さが分かつ。全ては永遠なる女王陛下とウルダ派の繁栄のために。
For victory and fortune, stride fearlessness into the inferno, for we are by fire reborn.
Yeah, また会ったね。
Yeah, it's like no wonder they are called immortal flames because of that man Raoban. He will never let that flame die. Oh, Alphino, fancy meeting you again. The Uldans have a long history of conflict with the Amalja, a beast tribe that worships the primal Ifrit. Judging by your look of distaste, I take it you have encountered them. The Uldans do not shy from confrontation. If aught threatens their precious prosperity, they will seek to crush it. So have they dealt with Ifrit thus far, smothering his flames each time he is stoked to life. Yet he is but one of several problems. Though they have been quiet these past 5 years, the Guardians have not gone away. Meanwhile, refugees continue to arrive in droves. The Ul'dah has no clear policy on how to deal with them. After all, not even the Sultan's coffers are bottomless. He does think he knows everything. Like, ugh. Like, I think that's why Alize over there is just like, oh my god. Ugh. Like, she's probably thinking, God, would you ever stop talking, you little know-it-all? Because, I mean, if I was a sibling, that's probably what I would be thinking. And even assuming they had the coin, resources will ever be finite. Which brings me back to the subject of Ifrit. It has been observed that the Al-Malja are summoning him with ever-increasing frequency. And every time they do so, the Uldans send their forces to smite the primal. And though they invariably succeed, each victory is or is bought with blood, is a war of attribution. Dang it. Is a war of attrition, which they cannot sustain well. Small wonder, then, that the Immortal Flames are equal to recruit more members. I promise when I get out of this cutscene, I am going to double check my game's frame rate because I could see that my frame rate looks like crap. And I see that I'm choppy. And I'm wondering if maybe the game forgot that I put a frame rate limit on everything. At least I'm hopeful that it's that and not what I've heard to be the February Windows update being mean to my computer. Yeah, I know he'll get more likable. I know. I want to appreciate that he's an annoying twerp right now. I want to appreciate his annoying twerp era because I feel like everybody has their own version of an annoying twerp era and we got to respect it. And I feel like right now I need to respect his annoying twerp era and call him out for being an annoying twerp because he's being an annoying twerp right now. At such a desperate hour, an adventurer of your experience would be a most welcome addition to their ranks. Dude, are you just everybody's... Like, are you just trying to sell me on everybody right now, Alphino? Like, pick a lane. Pick a freaking lane. Ah. Maybe that will help at least. Don't know why. Sometimes the game likes to change the frame rate limit. And that's typically what causes my other stuff to freak out on me. I don't know why the game likes to do that every once in a while, but it does. So, hopefully... Now, granted, it doesn't completely fix all the frame rate issues. I do think some of them have to do with Windows, but at least it should make things at least bearable, I guess, for this stream. And I will look into rolling back the Windows updates, and hopefully that will fix things for Friday. I was going to do it earlier today, and I just didn't end up getting around to it. You know, I had more important things to do, like get bunny ears. All right. We've got one more speech to hear. One more speech. I mean, so far, these speeches are sounding pretty solid. And like, okay, so one thing I want to talk about is like some people were like, oh, well, I used the whole trick of you seek passage to the gold saucer and then you seek passage to another place. Well, the thing is that only works traveling to the gold saucer. It will only work if you're traveling to Ul'dah to save on the airship fees. Because traveling the Limbs of Elements, I still have to pay the 120 gil, and the same would be true for Gridania. So, not gonna save on the gil just by going to the gold saucer. It just saves if going to Ul'dah. That was just something that I remembered earlier today. I remember I had comments on one of my teleport videos. I was like, yeah, I remember taking advantage of that one a lot, but I remember there was some sort of caveat and I couldn't remember what it was, and then I forgot to look into it. And then I just remembered it earlier today when I was doing Gold Saucer. I was like, oh yeah, there was that. All right, Xanthiel. Xanthiel. Hello, dude. Wow. I'm not gonna lie, he looks pretty badass. his outfit really brings out the red in his eyes. Like, that's pretty cool. I like this guy. Like, what a freaking badass to have as your gate guard. Like, I'd be scared of that. Like, she picked good. She picked good. Having him be the guard there. Like, I feel like any pirate would be like, oh shit, this guy has red eyes and he's wearing the military uniform, which is red, that makes his eyes look even more red. Like, they've got to be second guessing crossing this guy. Like, he's got red on red on red. I mean, we have no idea how much of the red is actually blood, so like, maybe let's not mess with him.
だが帝国との戦いは提督の手柄だ。
協定も結局はダメだったしさ。
うちの船もかなり沈められたよ。
Now we're in a cutscene, and now it looks like my model's messing up again. I'm gonna...
聞け、誇り高き海の民よ、思い起こせ、魂揺さぶる我らの旗を。
So I'm not distracting. I'm gonna hide myself on the cutscene there. There we go. That, at least for the cutscene, because I feel like me flashing in and out is just going to be a huge major distraction. So I don't feel like any of us need that. Like, I was trying to set up a lamp earlier and it got mad at me because it didn't want to connect. Apparently it's like really picky. You have to connect it to the 5 gig, or you can't connect it to 5 gigahertz internet. You have to connect it to 2.4 gigahertz internet, and I didn't realize that, and I tried connecting it to 5. It started flashing red at me. I literally started having a panic attack. And so I'm like, I don't know that I can handle flashing things right now. So how about I hide my V2 model during the cutscene so that way I'm not flashing. I don't want to cause myself or anyone else a panic attack just because my V2 model is flashing everywhere. Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard. Tell me your hearts do not swell with pride.
伝説の建国船ガラディオン号が漂着し、リムサロミーサの礎が築かれたのが今から700年前。
700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay.
皆、海洋と航海の神リムレーンに導かれ、海の民として生きてきた。
In that time, guided by the mother of oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
メルウィブ提督の後ろ、リムサ・ロミンサの国旗を見てごらん。
Did you look as the admiral bid you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say. Him and nerding out about these damn standards every freaking time. Like, bro, we get it. We get it. We get it. Like...
流戦旗と呼ばれる模様だ。赤は犠牲となった仲間たちの血を、黒のロングシップは海賊船を意味しているんだよ。
The crimson field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the black longship represents a pirate vessel. I mean, it's a town of pirates. Of course it represents a pirate vessel. Thank you, Captain Obvious.
エオルゼアを侵略してきたガレマール帝国に対して我々はグランドカンパニー国家団を結成した。
Like, I seriously think that, like, Alphino, for know-it-all. Oh, I'm sorry, Daenerys. I'm sorry. And what is going on? Why is Mel not even pulling in Kick's chat? What in the... That's just not even okay. Let me... Yeah, I just noticed that. I was like, what in the crap is going on? Why is Mel just not even showing that? It's supposed to be showing it, considering, I mean, it's literally, like, Mel's the one that's distributing to it, so we're just going to hotfix this real quick. I owned chat. We're actually going to switch you to Botrix chat because, yes, it's always something, right? So it should be refresh that. All right, Neris, will you send another message in chat? I want to see if it pops up on the screen. Okay, I just need to adjust this size here. Refresh button. I don't want to lock the dimensions. It looked like the messages should be going through now. It was just, I had it scaled weird, so it like was like a huge banner all the way across the top. So now it should show up. I just need to fix it on my portrait layout real quick. And then I'll continue with this cutscene. When the Garley Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom banner, and our grand company was reborn.
5年前、帝国とのカルテノーの戦いにおいても、直前にヒルフィル以下の海賊諸派と同盟関係を結び、ガラディオン協定を成立させ、共に戦いに挑んだ。
All answered the call from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilford's bloody executioners, and together we met our would-be conquerors upon the field.
海の民の底力を見せつけたのだ。
Why is that not? And why does that look so tiny? Thanks for the follow, African dancers. That day we bore witness to the united strength of Linza Lomensa.
しかし、 結果は皆が知っての通りだ。国家団、海賊勢力ともにカルテノーでは多くの者が死んだ。
I swear to you, no army ever fought harder or with more courage, yet many of ours did not survive.
自由のため、己の正義のために戦い、苦しくも丘の上で散っていった者たちに哀悼の意を。
Alright, after hiding the chat, it seemed like my VTuber model stabilized, so I'm unhiding her. Making her show up again, so that way it's not just a voice talking on a cutscene. Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
自由か。そう、人はみんな利己的さ。
Freedom. Yes, they always have been rather fond of their freedom.
でも、それは蛮族だって同じはずだ。人と蛮族は根本的には何も違わないのだから。
Yes, I am trying to emulate Graha with the disembodied voice. Oh no, I'm gonna have to do it again. So it's like I could tell with how much I was lagging there. I was like, she's gonna disappear again, so she's just gonna. Much as the beast tribes have, small wonder beneath the surface one would struggle to tell them apart. What? Not only is he a know-it-all, but what a little prick. A little freaking snooty ass prick. What the fuck, Alphino? What the actual fuck? Like, you really gonna act like that? Really? You gonna act like that? You pompous little twerp. Like, damn it, Alphino. Oh. Now my VTuber model is okay. Okay. Something crashed. Give me just a second. Because that's totally not gonna work. Because it put me in the original Prism outfit, and the original Prism model is like super, like she is super ultra pasty white. So it looks it looks super weird with my character right now. Like it Oh, I'm sure like she's had to grow up with this crap. Like I am sure that she is more annoyed with this shit than we are. Like she's probably just like, what the actual fuck? No, I am not okay with this.
この5年、我々は決死の思いでリムサロミンサを復興してきた。
It's been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding.
第7零祭の傷は深く、未だ癒えきらない。
Yet still, the wounds of the calamity fester and weep.
そんな中、リムサロミンサは以前にも増して輝き、リムレーンのベールの名に恥じない都市へ復興を遂げることができた。
I totally support you African dancers, but I do want to know I'm actually not trans. But I do totally support you. That's awesome. But when I stand atop the mast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadion all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again?
しかしこの我々の努力を踏みにじろうとしている奴らがいる。
Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotanno.
万神リヴァイアさんを信奉するサハギン族がついに上陸した。
Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
マジかよ。
サハギン族が。
そして万神タイタンを信奉するコボルド族がオゴモロ山を出て南下してきている。
While the minds of Ogomoro spew forth kobold who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they
この
go.
蛮族たちは今後のリムサロミーサの繁栄に大きな壁となって立ちふさがるだろう。
These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull.
さらにはガレマール帝国だ。
And behind them swells the grim tide of the Garlean Empire.
帝国軍がリムサロミーサ領内に砦を築いた。全面衝突も時間の問題だ。
And even now, the curves flying their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but they will be upon us ere long.
リムサロミーサは今三方からの敵に囲まれている。しかるに国内に海賊問題を抱え、内部が一枚岩ではない。
We are well nigh surrounded, yet there are those among us who would rather turn their sword against their crewmates and our cannons against our foes.
今まさに我々は嵐の中にいると言えよう。
How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breathes below our deck?
この嵐の中、我らが取るべき進路はただ一つ。
There's but one course left to us.
蛮族、帝国を打ち払い、リムサロミーサが新たな世へ進むための航路を開くのみ。
What bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes of Empire both, and see the ship safe to port.
そのためには第7零祭の後、分裂した海賊諸派と国家団が再び手を取り合い、冒険者と共に一丸となって困難に立ち向かうほかない。
We must mend the rift of calamity has reopened twixt pirate and maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the upcoming tempest.
不可能は人が作り出すもの。返せば可能もまた人が作り出すもの。
Mark ye well, a crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men.
誇り高き海の民よ、その力、その技術、その知識を今一度集結せよ。
To me then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom.
我々は一つ真紅の旗のもとに生きる噴景の友である。
And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves till sea swallows all.
提督万歳。
早速野郎どもを集めなきゃな。
なあ、血がたぎるぜ。俺は提督についていくぜ。
I feel the least inspired by that one.
Yeah,
Not that Marwood was not inspiring. That one just sounded the most like, guys, we need to get our shit together because we are a fucking hot mess, is what that whole speech sounded like. Like that was all that speech sounded like. And the other ones, like Raubon was like, hey, if you're okay. Yes, Boba is Chibi Zelda, and as is so if I'm gonna try to get my model showing again here. Let's see. There we go. Hopefully she doesn't start crashing out. I also added for today, since I am streaming as Lalafell, I look a little bit more like Lalafell for today. And each time that I stream as Lalafell, I will look a little bit more like this. I gave myself the boba glasses, the ears, all of it. So that way she looks more like a true mini-me. Oh, Alphino, you don't have to act surprised every time you meet up with me. Like, come on. We're going to the same places. We're both going to these speeches. I'm assuming for different reasons, but still, stop acting surprised that you're running into me every time. Like, just stop. It's really annoying. As Admiral mentioned in her address. Yes, a realm reborn Alphino. Freaking piece of work. He is so annoying. So annoying. As the Admiral mentioned in her address, Limasil Mensa is plagued by 2 beast tribes. Okay, so he made it sound like when he was talking to us in Gridania that the Gridanians were the only ones dealing with 2. They're not the only ones dealing with 2. Limasil Mensa is also dealing with 2. So we've got 2 of them are dealing with 2. Well, Daw's only dealing with 1. So it's like, okay, so now the picture's being painted even clearer as it's like, okay, yes, we dealt with the Almalja. The Almalja, yeah, they suck. We already dealt with their Primal Ifrit. So hopefully they're not going to need us again anytime soon. So for me, I'm kind of like, okay, I feel like I can probably rule out Immortal Flames, which sucks because I love Raubon's voice and that speech was very inspiring and like, it was such a good speech. But anyhow, in Limasil Mensa, they are dealing with 2. And Alphino says the first are fish like Sahagin, worshippers of the primal Leviathan. The second are the kobolds, who dwell beneath the earth and take the primal Titan as their god. Now, while I say that I'm gonna, like, I'm judging it based upon who needs to be more, like, based upon how they're all fighting gods and all that stuff, for noting for Sprouts that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You don't have to take that into account at all. You're gonna worry about all of them, regardless of who you pledge your loyalty to. It's your job. As if the Beast Tribe's presence weren't troublesome enough, the Garleans have also chosen to erect a fortress right in the Limson's backyard. And is nay not of eternal strife. As a nation of pirates, there is no end to the blood feuds between the various factions, and while they fight amongst themselves, the Garleans whet their blades and watch. The Limsons are to have any hope of withstanding the Empire, they must first resolve their own affairs. Differences must be set aside, and the primal threat dealt with once and for all. This said, I expect they will soon take decisive action against the beast tribes. Mark my words, the Maelstrom Standard will be drenched a deeper shade of crimson ere long. That a capable adventurer like you would be a valuable addition to their crew is beyond question. Yeah, so you clearly know why I'm going to all these speeches, Alpha now, so stop acting like, oh, well, fancy meeting you here. Like, you know I'm going to all these speeches. Because you already know why I'm going to all these speeches, so you know I'm going. Why you gotta act that way? Like, I don't appreciate him talking to my warrior of light like she's stupid. Like, I know some people, their headcanons are their warrior of light is not intelligent, and I can't bring myself to do that for mine ever, so I always get so offended by Alphino all the time. I'm just like, why do you insist that I'm stupid, Alphino? Why do you think I don't know these things? Just stop. Just stop. Like, even as a Sprout, like with him being like, oh, fancy meeting you here, you obviously know that I'm gonna be here. Just don't talk to me like that. Come on now. Like, sure, you can educate me on some of that other stuff. Probably didn't know those things. That's fine. I get it. You gotta be a little know-it-all. But some of the other things, I'm like, okay, you obviously... You're just trying to belittle me. And yes, I am making fun of my own height. Boba, this is Memphilia. You're well, I hope. I would be correct in thinking that the final remembrance service has now concluded. A moment ago, you say? What a coincidence. Jesting aside, I trust you remember our guests from the Grand Companies. Well, delighted though we are to have them here at the Waking Sands, it would not do to keep them in suspense any longer than necessary. In short, hurry back. AKA, she's like, get them away from me, please. I don't want them here. Which, I mean, when you intentionally set up headquarters in a little cave like that, away from society and shit, like, you would kind of hope people would leave you alone too, so to have to play host to those pushy guys, like, I get it. I get it. I'd be like, no, you guys can go away. We'll call you. We'll call you when we're ready. All right. So, for more of a real analytical analysis, we're gonna see if I lower it even further down to 30 frames per second. See if maybe that will help a little bit better. Might make my game a little bit choppy, but not completely and totally horrible, I guess. Or I'll bump it back up for if there's any action happening and just turn my VTuber off during those moments. But while I'm running around, I think me turning it down to 30 frames per second until I can get those Windows updates rolled back on my computer will probably help. But more of a better analysis for picking a Grand Company, like at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Like Benphilia said, it doesn't matter. You could always pick a different Grand Company later on. Like my main character originally pledged to the Maelstrom, and then she moved to Order of the Twin Adder. It doesn't necessarily matter. However, some things that people do like to consider is how long it takes to get to a Grand Company from the main Aethernet or main Aetherite. So so that way they have minimal running distance when they're going to turn in things, such as collecting things from their Grand Company seals, or just turning in things to get Grand Company seals, things like that. So that way they're spending as little time as possible traveling to and from their Grand Companies. Out of all of the Grand Companies, Limsa Lominsa probably takes the longest to get to, because you not only have to use the Aethernet to go to the aft castle, which, depending on what system you're running on and how your internet speeds are, that can take a decent amount of time. But then there's also this jaunt that you have to run. And this jaunt is not necessarily super long. It's about the same length as your other ones, but overall, that whole teleport part there can be a deal breaker for some people if they're looking at it time-wise. That jaunt that was happening right there, it's probably a little bit shorter than the other two at best, but the other two have a much shorter walk from their main aetherites, whereas this one, you got to go to the aft castle and then run over. Otherwise, it's a long run. Like, you'd have to run over to the elevator, then run from the elevator all the way over to there. So that one takes the longest to get to of the three. Another thing to consider is the aesthetics of each of them. Like, some people like to say, okay, which one do I like the color of the best? Some people like to look at, yes, Aetherite Plaza is also always so full in Limsa Lominsa, because that's where almost every server, a lot of people like to do their RP. But if you look at, I know I'm not a member of the Maelstrom, but thank you for letting me know that I'm not a member of the Maelstrom. But I'm gonna go ahead and scale this up. But you could also look at some of the different glamours and stuff that you can get for different ranks. So for instance, at this tier, you would have to be a second Storm Lieutenant, first Storm Lieutenant, or a Storm Captain in order to get any of this gear. But you can try out some of the different gear and be like, oh, hey, is that something that I like the looks of? One of the reasons that I switched over to the Order of the Twin Adders was because I had gone to Viera, and for the longest time, a lot of headpieces were not wearable by the Viera. But the Order of the Twin Adder has a very nice branch headpiece, and that is more like a crown or tiara, and it was wearable by the Viera, and it very much suits her, because being of the wood and everything like that, having the wood branches and leaves as a tiara it was so fitting and so nice to have, that I was like, this is an absolute necessity for her. So I was like, I need to have this be a thing. So I made the switch to go with Orders of the Twin Adder because of that. Even though I was already a Storm Captain, it honestly didn't take me that long to go from being a Storm Captain to an Adders Captain. So if you're worried about losing progress or anything like that, like, yes, you do lose the progress, but it really doesn't take you that long to get that progress right back. So if you feel like you chose wrong, don't stress. You can always switch. I recognize that person. I recognize that person. I recognize them. I recognize an FC mate. I am. Thanks for the follow. I so badly want to say thanks for the follow, Nim, because I know you're Nim, but I should say thanks for the follow, Big Red. Hey, Nim. Good to see ya. Are you guys raiding tonight? Is that why you're visiting me on Primal? Ah, nice. Well, good luck, you guys. Hopefully you guys get some more clears. You guys are doing re-clears tonight, right? Nice. Yeah, hopefully you guys get those re-clears and they go really, really fast. You guys get all the gear drops and everything because, I mean, obviously gear drops from Savage, always the best thing to get. It's one of those things that I miss running Savage, and I miss being able to be the greedy person and be like, yeah, I get the first dibs. Because I was the high DPS, so I got first dibs on all the gear. And then once I got my gear, then everybody else got their gear. I got to be I was not only the greedy DPS, but I was also like after the fight was said and done, then I was the greedy gear person too. All right, so with that, I think what I'm going to end up telling Minfilia, as far as Grand Company goes, because of distance, I'm not going to go with the Maelstrom, because the Maelstrom, as I said, that one's going to take the longest to get to. You have the whole Aetheryte traveling thing. The other two, about the same distance. It's pretty similar. It really just depends on the aesthetics that you want to go for. Some of the gear that the Immortal Flames have is actually absolutely fantastic gear, and I honestly like it a whole bunch. Something to keep in mind though, one reason that you might want to consider swapping between different Grand Companies is because you cannot, so for instance, like if I was pledged to the Adders and I had like the gear that I had from the Maelstrom on my main character, now that she's pledged to Adders, she can't wear her Maelstrom gear. She can't wear that. She'd have to re-pledge to the Maelstrom in order to wear that gear. So you get limited. So that is something to keep in mind. For most people, they probably consider the gear before anything else. But I do know people that consider the distance before anything else. For now, I am going to consider the distance before anything else and just go with the Adders. I also feel like with the Adders, you can get teleport tickets with your Grand Company. So you can, with those teleport tickets, you can use free teleports to get to your Grand Company. So that will essentially give me a free teleport to Gridania. And I could use that to get to Ul'dah for free, because then I could just use the airship to go to the Gold Saucer, then go to Ul'dah. And then I could just save Limsa Lomensa as my free teleport or favorite destination easily enough. So that also helps me a lot with fees and everything like that. So that's another thing that I am thinking about. But again, when starting out, if you happen to feel like, oh, hey, I made the wrong choice, it's okay. You can change your mind later. Trust me, I went through the whole process of re-leveling those grand companies. It really does not take very long. It really doesn't. Like, you could always change. That is totally fine. Welcome back, Boba. Were the Grand Company leader's words as illuminated as you had hoped? Aye, each nation is beset with problems. I trust you see now why your services are in such demand. Would that there were more of you, Boba. Little does she know. Little does she know I have so many alt characters. There are plenty of me to go around. There are so many of me to go around. There are so many. But you must be tired from your journey. Why don't you rest a while and take a moment to reflect on your decision? Once your mind is made up, pray give the Grand Company officers your answer. Did they bribe you? You were like, you called me. You called me and told me to hurry my ass back here and told me to get these guys out of here, basically. And now you're telling me, oh, you must be tired. Why don't you chill for a little bit? Like, are you, like, did they bribe you? Or is it, you want them to annoy the crap out of me and you want to see me suffer? Is that it? You want to see me suffer? That's kind of cruel. I'm 2 feet tall, woman. Like, why are you trying to torture a woman who's only 2 feet tall? That is... Do you not believe in potato? Do you not believe in potatoes being the gods here? Come on, Memphilia. I thought you were better than this. You have the echo. You should believe in the potato. Come on.
あの冒険者はどこの国のグランドカンパニーを選ぶんだろうね。
Oh, Alphino. Gods only know what grand company our adventural friend would keep. I really, really, really wish I could roll my eyes on my VTuber model right now. But I didn't, like, I would do the speechless emote, but I didn't set it up with the, with my qualified head here, so it would be really freaky. Like, my head would shrink and everything. Like, I'm not going to be tripping people out with that.
いずれにしてもこれで世界は動き始める。
The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
アルフィノ、あなた本当にこれでいいと思ってる？
Brother, are you certain this course is best?
どういうことだい、アリゼ？
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
各国の演説を聞いたでしょ。どの国も自分の国の問題と綺麗事ばかり。
The so-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies.
原因を深く調べるでもなく、まるで第7零祭なんて忘れてしまったかのよ。
As if this calamity and 7th Arbol era were to scarcely a mention.
確かに綺麗事だったかもしれないがね。
Well, of course they were standard waving rallies.
気づいたかい、アリゼ？各国の名手たちは光の戦士たちを引き合いに出さなかった。
Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the warriors of light? None.
光の戦士たちは第7零祭からエオルゼアを救った英雄だ。
I suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the calamity.
その英雄を出さなかったということは、各国がそれぞれに自立を模索しているということ。
No, dear Alize, they haven't forgotten these details. They have elected to admit them. Well, yes, because they were rallying ceremonies, like you both said, they were rallying ceremonies. They were intended to hype people up against the upcoming armies to prevent what happened from happening again. And rather than tearing everybody down and being like, hey, let's despair over what happened in the past, and then inevitably going down the hole of being like, well, shit, it's going to be so much worse this time, by inspiring them and lifting their spirits up, and not even bringing up the details of the Warriors of Light that we don't happen to remember who they are, doesn't bring us down, you know?
このエオルゼアは霊災で深く傷ついた。それでもどの国も明日へ向かって歩み出している。
Deep are the wounds the calamity inflicted upon Eorzea, so deep in fact that the realm still bleeds.
蛮族、蛮神。エオルゼアにはまだまだ問題が山積みだ。
Needless to say, the beast tribe and their primals do little to alleviate the pain.
各国のグランドカンパニー、そして暁の決命。彼らはその問題を解決する鍵だよ。
The task of salving Eorzea's wounds fall to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies.
いいかいアリゼ。明日のために、未来のために、第七霊祭は過去にしなければならないんだよ。
Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the calamity behind us.
おじい様はあんな奴らに未来を託したわけでも組織を残したわけでもないわ。
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who would rewrite history to their convenience.
私は私のやり方で世界の明日を見つけてみせます。
There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I mean to find it.
お互い目指すところは同じはずだ。いつの日か分かり合える日も来るよ。
You are most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say, we will see eye to eye.
だといいわね。
I should hope so.
お嬢様、お待ちください。無理にでも分かり合わないといけないのさ。それが僕たち慶米の宿命なんだから。
Hope does not come into it. We share the burden of this fate, dear sister, and will prevail together or not at all.
それに鍵は扉を開くためにあるだけじゃない。
Salve will serve not only to close up our present wounds,
過去を知りたくもない真相を閉じるにもまた鍵は必要なのさ。
but prevent old ones from opening anew. I totally get where she's coming from, though. Like, especially to be grieving. Like, they called it a remembrance ceremony. And she's like her grandfather's one of the people who died. And not even a mention of Louis Soir? Not even so, like, nothing? Not gonna mention any of the sacrifice. Like, even, like, Robot even so far as to went to make it sound like they did super amazing during that battle. And it was like, no, bro, you guys got your asses beat. And so many people died. All right, going with the serpents. Serpent officer says, I take it the Elder Seedseer's words have touched your heart. Have you resolved to entwine your destiny with that of the Twin Adder? And Ah, forgive me. My eagerness to embrace you as a sister. I mistook your intention. So, like, you could talk to each of them. Like, if you really want to just see their salutes. Like, some people might just want to know what their salutes look like. Because some of them have, like, I feel like... some of them look a little ridiculous, but, you know, I'm like, I don't really care what their salutes look like. Welcome back, adventurer. I take General Raban's words, kindled a fire within you. Well, yes, he did rally my spirits. What? You cannot seriously be considering joining another grand company. Why, they are not nearly as grand as ours. Okay, just from that comment, like, no, you could go. You could shove it, sir. Shove it. That was Admiral's speech. Ah, but you did not, but you need not explain that you stand before me now is answer enough. You have resolved to join the Maelstrom, have you not? Well, I dare say you have your reasons, but mark me, in stormy seas, the strong of arm and stout of heart must pull together, or the vessel will founder. Ah, sorry, I thought I needed to sneeze there for a second. And when a ship goes down, the passengers will always share the fate of the crew. Remember that. That was a lot more stoic. Like, whereas the flame guy was just like, well, their companies aren't as grand as ours. Like, were you a rich boy? Were you a rich boy? Did you grow up with a silver spoon in your mouth, sir? Like, no. Just no. I feel like that's totally fair, Euler. I can't remember why my main character went with Maelstrom, but I feel like it was probably a similar deal. Like, I probably just picked the one that was closest to me. It was like, screw it, I'm just gonna go with that one. And some of my other ones, I went with Maelstrom just because it was in their starting city. And then I do have at least one that is an Immortal Flame. Can't remember exactly why I picked Immortal Flames with her. I think I just wanted to try something different. Because I usually either pick Maelstrom or Adders. Just because I like their aesthetics more than Flames, which sucks because Raban is freaking awesome. Like, he is so awesome. But yeah. All right, yes, I am your sister now. You have chosen wisely, my friend. The elder sister will be overjoyed. My friend? I thought I was your sister. You said you wanted me to be your sister. Sir. Your parents have now adopted me. I am now your sister. You have adopted this little 2-foot-tall bunny. I am a part of your family now. There's no taking back that. No backsies. Without further ado, let us speak of practical matters. In order to complete the enrollment procedure, you must report to the Adder's Nest. And naturally, you get dies with them too. And you can't always like back out at this point and choose based upon dies. I think that's kind of a silly reason to do it. And I mean, early on, you feel like you need to do it because you're like, oh, well, shop selling price is none. So this might be one of the only places I could get this die. There's still plenty of other ways you could get the die. Don't judge it based upon the die. Thanks for the follow, Nathaniel. I dare say you know it well from your wanderings in New Gridania. Give your name to the personal officer there and he will guide you through the formalities. I have no doubt that your deeds will bring great honor to our order. When next we meet in Gridania, I shall be proud to call you sister. Hello! Alright, we need to go back to Gridania. So, if I recall correctly, yes, my return is already set to Gridania, so So no need to waste a teleport. Because I mean, I've only got, I have less than 7,000 gil because I bought glasses. Okay. I couldn't resist the market board. I got glasses. I went shopping. Now mind you, I did get them for pretty cheap. Like it was barely above what the person would have vendored it for. So, you know, like I felt like that was worth it. I felt like that was totally worth buying off of the market board. All right, Serpent Officer. You're come to Adder's Nest, headquarters of the Order of the Twin Adder. Ever do we welcome they who would toil in the elementals' names for the good of our forest nation. Okay, so I have one of two options. I can either say my name is Bobomoki. I believe you are expecting me. Yes, they are absolutely a must, especially like she's adorable little Lalafell. She has to have Harry Potter looking glasses. She has to have them. They just, I feel like they complete her look. Like, especially since she doesn't have pupils, like I feel like she's something to dial back her creepy factor a little bit. Like trust me, when I was originally making my VTuber model with without the glasses, like because she doesn't have pupils either now. When I'm like this, she looks very creepy without the glasses. Like the glasses, they hide the creepy factor. They hide it. Yes, I can pretty much say, I believe you're expecting me. Or you could say, I'm here to enlist if you will have me. Like, you could be like, oh, I'm not worthy or whatever. Or you could be like, yeah, I'm a badass. You were expecting me. And I'm going with the first one because, I mean, they were the ones begging for me. So since they were the ones begging for me, I feel like I should go in and say, hey, I believe you're expecting me. Like, the great adventurer herself. Yes, our recruitment officer sent word that you were on your way. It's a pleasure and honor both to welcome you to our ranks, friend. Now, let me gather together the relevant documentation. So, So, this hairstyle is also new for my Lalafell. I feel like my Lalafell has more hair than, like... There's more mass to her hair than there is to her herself. Gotta love Lalafells. Sir! Alright, so gathering documentation. This guy's gonna run up. Oh man, I have a feeling that they're not even gonna get documentation and on me. And they're gonna be like, oh hey, Boba, guess what? Here's your first task. We don't even have your paperwork done. And guess what? Guess what, Private? Go. What is it? Report. Urgent message from Marisa's Spire, sir. The High Wind Skyways airship has taken fire from Imperial forces in the skies over the East Shroud. The vessel's engines were crippled, sir, and it was forced to make an emergency landing southeast of 9 Ivies. 9 Ivies? Gods, this could not have come at a worse time. All but a handful of our forces are presently afield dealing with the Ixal. Boba, I know full well you've yet to be formally inducted into our ranks, but we have urgent need of your aid. Yeah, everywhere I show up, there seems to be trouble. In all likelihood, the airship was burying civilians, and if the reports are accurate, it will have come down dangerously close to Garlean-occupied territory. Please make all haste to the area southeast of 9 Ivies, locate the airship, and ascertain the status of the passengers. Okay. 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 Don't even have my paperwork done. Like I'm not even enlisted yet. And you guys are already treating me like I'm enlisted. This better come with an immediate promotion, guys. Like, come on. Come on. Like, obviously I'm already following orders. There better be a damn good reward for this. May as well tag these guys for hunt logs. Why not? And the boring weevil. Don't think that will need another boring fungar. I think that was all of them. Yeah. One weevil. Okay, that was all I needed for the weevils apparently too. Okay. Just figured I may as well take those out while I was there, you know? No sense in seeing those icons and just letting it go by. And oh, we got giant gnats. You know, that's not a nightmare waiting to happen. Like that has never, not once ever. Oh my god. Ugh. I don't like giant bugs, especially if they can sting. Hi, big fella. Did you just expose our location, big fella? An adventurer? What are you doing out here? No, wait. Let's find some cover first. The Adder's Nest sent you. How do I know you're not an Imperial spy? You don't even have a uniform. That's totally fair, but I also don't have an Imperial uniform. Like, do I really look like an Imperial spy to you? I mean, I get that I'm a LALA, but come on. I have no pupils. I'm trustworthy. And I have bunny ears. What kind of Imperial spy would have bunny ears? Peace, friend. We mean you no harm. You are an engineer of Garland Ironworks, are you not? We were alerted to your plight and have come to rescue you. And you are Bobomoki, I presume. I was told to expect an honorary serpent. Thank you for your aid, friend. An honorary serpent? Like, I mean, I guess that's one way to put it. Sure. I feel bad. Like, he obviously feels bad for questioning me, but I'm like, I feel like his questions were totally fair. Like, I'm not wearing an Adder's uniform. I'm not donning yellow. I mean, neither were they, but, you know. Like, green nor yellow. Like, I was wearing purple. I was wearing the exact opposite of yellow. So, like... I've never seen a craft of this design. It must be Garland's work. There's no end to that man's treachery. Secrets of Magitech belong in Imperial hands. They are not to be squandered on any Eorzea's savages. Aww. We're taking this craft back to the fortress, dismantle it if you must. Bring the engineer. Someone must pay for Garland's crimes. That's not fair. It's not his fault. If he's not Garland, that's not his fault. Imperial scouts from Castromorians. They mean to requisition the ship. Wedge, you have to help him. That fool of a LALA was hiding inside the tiny Bronco. Poor Wedge. The tiny Bronco. Isn't that the Ironworks' latest creation? It's the first airship we've built since Calamity, and the first since Master Garland. Well, since he went missing. After years of work, she was finally ready for her first flight test. She was soaring. She really was. Till those bastards blasted her out of the sky. Attend me all. The Ironworks' latest creation must not fall into Garlean hands. We shall strike them swift and sure and rescue Engineer Wedge. Boba, I trust we can rely on your support. May the matron watch over us. With me. And ambush. 2 arms. And ambush. The whole 4 of us. And me with my like one of them being me with my twig. Yes. We are totally ambushing you guys. There's so many of you. Oh, there's a dude with a stick. There's a dude with a stick. Get the dude with the stick first. Let's get rid of the other person with stick. There are not allowed to be other people with sticks on the field. Believe me. You. Stop doing the healy stuff. Excuse me? Blinding me? Stop blinding me. That is the annoying thing about gladiators. They like to healy heals sometimes. Like, no, you don't have the stick. You can't healy heals. How dare you? You stop that. You stop that right now. No. I will be flashed all I want to. A Realm Reborn just loves to make you feel too confident. Thanks. A Biggs and Wedge duo. I love Biggs and Wedge duo. Wedge, you should have stayed with the ship. That was a close one. Just completely disregarding Biggs's comment there, Wedge. Like, just too damn close. So, how's she look anyway? Auxiliary propeller is a dead loss, but I think we can wring enough thrust from the main propeller to get us airborne. A few minor modifications and we should be able to fly the Tawny Bronco home. While you do your work, we shall keep watch over the perimeter. The enemy may yet be lurking nearby. As for you, Boba, you have more than done your part today. I bid you return to the Adder's Nest and complete your enlistment. I pray there will be no further interruptions. Till next we meet, let it be as fellow serpents of the Order. I, just wanted to say sorry. You know, for calling you an Imperial spy and all that. Got that one wrong, didn't I? Seriously though, had it been for you and the twin Adder lads there, we'd be chained up in a dungeon by now. I'm in your debt, friend. We both are. Wedge! Thank you. We're very grateful. I love how awkward Wedge is. Like, he's just so adorably awkward. Like, the whole conversation, like, had to be yelled at by Biggs to say something. I was trying to come say hi, but I totally stepped in front of these two. These two ugly monstrosities. He's super. You know, I think it's the teeth for me. I think it's the teeth on those things that might just do it. Like the teeth on these giant gnats, they look like they have dentures or something. Like they are like, why do these gnats look like they have, I don't want to get too close, but like, why are their teeth super straight? Like, ew. And then they just, there are just so many things that are gross. So many gross things. Oh my gosh. I gotta get away from these gnats. They're just oh, I'm sorry, Darius. That's how I spend most of my life. Like every time I sit down, it's usually my daughter walks up to me, grabs my hand, and says, "Come," and usually drags me to the pantry because she wants more snacks. Like that's how I spend a large portion of my day. Is she grabs my hand, "Come, go get snacks." I sit down, grabs my hand, "Come, refill water." I sit down, "Come, refill on snacks. Come." It's either that or everything is ta-da! Like the other day, literally we would do just one little thing, and after every single little step it was ta-da, except like she says dada, but instead of dada or tada, she said ta-ta. It was like after a diaper change, we went to put her pants on, and I was like, okay, leg to the left, and she put her leg in, ta-ta. Like, okay, leg to the right, ta-ta. All right, let's stand up, ta-ta. It was literally every single step ended with ta-ta. Including leaving the room. I was like, okay, let's go to the living room and play. And she left her bedroom, and I heard her yell from the other room, ta-ta! Like, having a toddler is just... it is just absolutely hilarious having a toddler. But yeah, there's not much sitting down. Unless it is snuggle time, there's not much sitting down. Which is why I don't get much time to like really game or anything like that, unless it's Animal Crossing, because then she's like, okay, I'm gonna press all the buttons, and she could press all the buttons. It's fine. Like the other day, she decided to throw on a pair of basketball shorts on my character. Didn't put a shirt on my character. Like, I was wearing a dress. Swapped me out of the dress. Put on basketball shorts. Changed a whole bunch of other stuff. Never put a shirt on her. And I was like, honey, she needs a shirt. She can't go shirtless. That is not... We gotta wear a shirt. We have to. Anyhow, Boba, it does my spirit well to see you return. Word arrived but moments ago from the team of 9 Ivies. Lest you worry, the 2 engineers are safely on their way. The lieutenant informs me that you were instrumental in the mission's success. Had you not found Engineer Biggs when you did, it helped us to root the Garleans. Things might have been very different. Yes, it's definitely full of surprises. And all this before you were even inducted into the order. You're well on your way into carving out a fine career for yourself beneath the Twin Adder standard. But without further ado, let us see to your induction. 12 willing, there won't be any further interruptions. Yeah. Let's move on with it. Yes, let's complete this induction for real this time. Like, I don't need to be pulled away. Protocol requires I apprise you of who we are and what we do, after which I will invite you to swear an oath of your own free will. The Order of the Twin Adders is the Grand Company of Gridania. It brings together the martial, economic, and technological resources of our nation that we might stand strong in times of direst adversity, when our very survival hangs in the balance. Our order was formed in the days before the calamity, in readiness to fight the Garlean Empire and to combat the beast tribes and their primals. Needless to say, our struggle continues to this day. Elder Caesar Connie Cinna is the supreme commander of our forces. Under her wise leadership, we protect the people of Gridania and the sanctity of the Twelveswood. As the entwined serpents that grant our standard, let Forestborn strive as one with friends from afar to ensure that peace shall ever reign on in Gridania. In so doing, we honor the will of the elementals, and theirs is the will of the wood. Now then, Boba, I ask that you give unto us your oath of allegiance in whatever fashion you see fits. So it's like, woods will be done. I shall strike down our enemies and drink of their blood. All right. Wow. My life for the Eldseer, or just a stoic nod. And I feel like a stoic nod because I'm like, the second one is totally a LALA thing to say, but I shall strike down our enemies and drink of their blood. Like I totally feel like that is a very meme LALA thing to do. Like they are very much take over the world and dominate everything. Like they have to dominate something. They are always extremely good at least one thing, and typically has to do with money. Like they are just extremely ambitious. So like to say something like I shall strike down our enemies and drink of their blood definitely sounds like a LALA thing to say. My life for the Elder Seedseer, I'm like, no, strike down enemies. You think I should go with that one? I'm like that like if I didn't have the stoic nod, I'm like that's the one I'm most leading with, because I'm like, woods will be done. Like I feel like the inflection on that one is so important. It's like woods will be done. It like one inflection sounds like the woods will be done. The other is woods will be done. Like the woods will. And I'm like, I know there's the apostrophe S, but I'm just like, I feel like that was just worded weird. Like, I don't feel like anyone should say that one. And my life for the Elder Seedseer, I'm like, I feel like that's really more of a native Gridanian thing to say. But okay, Euler, I will go with it, because yes, it totally is a LALA thing to say. And I really do want everyone's kneecaps, you know, including the enemies. So, you know, you make a very good point there, Daris. It is Gridania, of course. Of course. It's totally a weird thing to say. Like, but yes, I'm going to strike down our enemies and drink of their blood, because I'm taking their kneecaps. I want to see what this guy... He's just like a weird little side smirk he got there until he composed himself. Why? Your fervor is duly noted. May it lend you strength as you strive to preserve all that is good in this great nation. The only reason I was mainly really against it, because I was like, well, they are ones that they are like, we don't love war. We don't want to fight unless we have to, and in this case we have to. So that was why I was leaning a little bit against it, but you know, it does feel fitting, you know. By the power vested in me, I assign you the rank of Serpent Private 3rd class. 3rd class, sir. Sir. I want to speak to your manager. I did work for you when I wasn't even enlisted yet. This is unacceptable. 3rd class. 3rd class. Sir. I am not okay with this. And I mean, some of them are like like she's mean mugging me over here. This chick over here, she is just straight up mean mugging me. I'll be watching her. I feel like she's the reason I got 3rd class. She's over there being all jealous of how adorable I am. She's like, ugh, I used to be the adorable one. Now we got this cute little Lothal here. Yeah, bitch, I'm cuter than you. You are now a woman of the Order of the Twin Adder. Go forth, Private Moki. That. Now I don't want to rank up. Private Moki just sounds funny. And do that which brings peace to the Twelveswood and honor to our name. Well, now she's not so judgmental because she's clapping. What now, Minfilia? Can you hear me, Bova? This is Minfilia. Yes, I know. Are you going to tell me to pray return? An officer of the Order of the Twin Adder contacted me with the news of your enlistment. My congratulations, Private Moki. I feel like this is going to be a joke. I feel like this is going to be a joke behind my back. Like, Thancred's going to be having drinks with Arianger and making fun of Private Moki. I have no doubt you are eager to make an acquaintance of your new comrades. But I would ask that you pay a visit to your old ones first. Remember, you are now a serpent of Gridania. You are no less a scion. Pray return to the waking sands at your earliest convenience. There's some friends here whom I would very much like you to meet. You shall be waiting. A distant call of a friend in need, perhaps. As you are needed elsewhere, I shall not keep you any longer. I would, however, suggest speaking with High Serpent Commander Borsel Hulo before you depart. He may provide you with assistance on the journey ahead. Okay. I can now accept the quest by a little chocobo. By speaking with this guy. Yay! Quests must be completed in order to proceed to the end of the main scenario for A Realm Be Born. So every once in a while, things like that do come up during the MSQ nowadays. They didn't used to be like that. Like, some of them used to actually be baked into the MSQ, but now they are listed as side quests and they just say, hey, you just need to make sure that you do this quest at some point. And I would recommend doing this one as soon as you can, because yes, as Neris says in chat, it's about time. So I would recommend go ahead and pick this one up as soon as he becomes available, because he wants to give you a mount. Private Moki, I understand you have been working tirelessly in Gridania's name. You are truly an example to your fellow serpents. But tell me, have you felt as though you couldn't get your destination quickly enough that perhaps you could do with a swifter pair of legs? If so, you might consider getting a personal chocobo. You have yet to be issued your own bird, am I correct? Given your considerable talents, you should be able to obtain one in no time at all. Let me tell you how to go about it. First, you must obtain a serpent chocobo issuance by exchanging company seals with the quartermaster. Once you have this deed, present it to our man Singer, and he will furnish you with a suitable bird. All right. So, like, basically, you have to get seals, and basically your way of getting that is you can complete supply and delivery missions. Supply and provisioning is done with crafting and gathering, and delivery you have to get at least second sergeant, so you have to rank up quite considerably before you could start doing expert deliveries. Expert deliveries is where you hand in old gear. So if you're going to do supply and provisioning, you're mostly going to be doing crafting and gathering. Another way that you can get seals is by doing hunt logs, which if you go into logs, you open up your hunt log now, you should now see a section for your specific Grand Company. So for Order of the Twin Adder, if I go back and go after these marks, I can now get Grand Company seals for completing these various marks. So these are going to reward seals, whereas your regular hunt log was rewarding experience. So that's probably going to be the main way a lot of sprouts are going to be working on getting their seals for unlocking the mount, is by doing the hunt logs, but crafting and gathering is also an alternative method. So I see that I'm here at 10 o'clock, but I do want to talk about like one thing before I do close out stream. So one question that came up on the Fluxer server is the goal to transition to Fluxer instead of Discord? And the short answer is yes, but but it's not quite so simple. So I am going to give a longer form answer here. So Fluxer has been dealing with some server instability, particularly as of late. And that is because, as I mentioned, they just launched their beta in February. They are very, very, very new. So I don't expect it to be super stable, and I don't expect it to be very reliable all the time. Like, for instance, I know Neris is already on the server, has already had frustrations with sending messages. As have I. Like, we've both had to resend messages quite a few times. We've had disconnections and all of that stuff. And these things happen during beta tests and things like that. And it's probably going to continue happening during their beta testing. So it's something that, while yes, I would idealistically like to transition to that in the long term, for safety and all of that stuff, I cannot say that it's going to be a immediate right now kind of thing. The only way I would say it would be an immediate right now kind of thing is if I were to find that Discord were violating privacy issues to an extreme extent that I really found that it was unacceptable for everybody in the community and we really needed to completely leave Discord. I don't see that being the case right now. I think it is okay to still run Discord, but I would eventually like to make the transition to Fluxer once it is more stable. So that way all the community is in one place and I'm not managing multiple servers. I'm not with my free company is just a lot larger, so I'm offering both for them and managing both for them. But I think especially for the streaming community is just so significantly smaller. And on top of that, we don't need all the bells and whistles that Discord has. Like, as far as like the server bots and stuff like that, we really don't use that much. Like we have the lodestone alerts. I've already set something up in Pipe Dream to send stuff through a webhook, so don't even need a bot for that. And then as far as my stream alerts go, again, already set up some things at Pipe Dream, so it sends alerts in via webhook. And then KupoBot, we didn't really use KupoBot, or haven't really used KupoBot at all on the streaming Discord. But I have a Google Apps script that runs a website, and what that website does is it sends the character data through another webhook. So everything that I have configured so far in Fluxer hasn't needed anything from any bots. So there haven't been any bots that have needed like any special access to server or anything like that. I literally just have a couple webhooks that have designated channels that they can post in, but that's it. They can only post. They can't do anything else. And it's like we just don't need the extra bells and whistles from Discord, because we don't need some of those other bots. We don't need to have the server tag or anything like that, you know. So I'm like, that's where I think Fluxer probably better suits our needs. But especially with the fact that it's unstable right now, I don't want to be like, oh yes, we're going to fully commit to it, because yeah, it's not stable. That we can't do that right now. We have to have something that is stable for communications and everything. So I'm not shutting the Discord server down anytime soon. At least not in the foreseeable future necessarily. Like I would say idealistically, and this is just me being like, oh yeah, this would be my absolute dream, would be to be able to completely be able to move over by April. But I'm also like, to be realistic about it, with a public beta test and everything like that, unless Fluxer's team just really grows significantly and fast, and they really stabilize super fast, I don't foresee it going that fast. So I would imagine that I will be running both servers in the meantime. But I have turned off all of the Discord invites, so there won't be any new guests coming into the Discord server, which I forgot to turn off the ! Discord for chat, and I forgot to remove it from my title. But if you would like to join the Fluxer server, you can join with ! Fluxer. And if we find that that is too unstable and you would like to join the Discord server, from there, I can always create a new invite for the Discord server and go that route if need be. But that's what I wanted to touch base on as far as server migration and all of that jazz. I do have other things in the works and everything like that, but that was like the big major one. And I was getting ready to say, I'm like, that is the one thing I hate about being a LALA fella, is people do intentionally stand on top of you, like every time. Like they intentionally run up and just stand exactly where you are because they just have to. Like, why? Why do you do this? Just why? But anyhow, if you all can think of anything, of course, feel free to let me know. But anyhow, thank you all again so much for your continued patience. I'm so sorry that today's stream was not of the highest quality as far as like my frame rates and everything goes. Like I'm down to 30 frames per second for the game. Like I don't know what's up. My computer should be able to handle it more than fine. Like I'm really annoyed by that, but I did see some things where it was like, oh well, the latest like Nvidia said the latest Windows update could be messing things up. So I was chalking it to, oh, TikTok's just trying to fill my brain up with lies or something, but maybe there is stock to it, so I'll give it a try. And hopefully I'll have the stream of better quality by Friday, and hopefully the mail chat will be working properly. I've never seen it not. Like, I'm surprised that Kick isn't showing up in there. It normally... Windows is its own problem, Neris. I 100% agree with that comment. Like, I am like about ready to abandon ship with Windows and just go to Linux. Like, that's where I'm at with Windows. I do love complaining about Alphino. Like, even by the time I like Alphino, I love complaining about him. Like, and that's coming from a fellow know-it-all. Like, I could totally be a know-it-all sometimes, but I love complaining about him. I'm like, Alphino, stop it. You're a little know-it-all. Anyhow, thank you guys so much for your continued support. I've had an absolute blast with you all. Friday we'll continue. I will be starting off with my main character and going from there. But for now, have a wonderful and fantastic night, you guys.